This photo was taken the morning of September 13, 1982. Grace Kelly at 52. Getting into her car. Her daughter Stephanie beside her. 24 hours later, she's dead. Now look at this one. April 1956. She's 26. The wedding dress. The crown. 30 million people watching on television. The actress who became a princess. America's fairy tale come true. So what happened between these two moments? What killed Grace Kelly on that winding mountain road? The answer isn't what you think. November 12, 1929. Philadelphia. Grace Patricia Kelly is born into wealth. Old money. Her father, Jack Kelly, was an Olympic rower. Self-made millionaire. Brick contractor. But he had rules. Strict Catholic household. Grace was the middle child. Quieter than her siblings. Overlooked. She learned early that perfection got attention. So she became perfect. She wanted to act. Her family hated it. Acting wasn't respectable. Not for a Kelly. But Grace was stubborn beneath that cool exterior. At 18, she moved to New York. Studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Started modeling to pay rent. By 1950, she's doing television. Live drama. Small theater roles. Then Hollywood noticed her first film role? 14 Hours in 1951. Blink and you miss her. But directors saw something. That face. That composure. The ice princess quality that cameras loved. Then 1952. High Noon with Gary Cooper. She's the Quaker wife. Morally pure. Visually stunning. Suddenly, Hollywood wants her. But one director wants her more than anyone, Alfred Hitchcock. He sees Grace Kelly and knows he's found his perfect blonde. Cool. Elegant. Untouchable. He casts her in Dial M for Murder. Then Rear Window opposite James Stewart. Then To Catch a Thief with Cary Grant. 3 films. 3 masterpieces. She becomes Hitchcock's muse. His ideal woman on screen. Look at these stills from Rear Window. That's not just acting. That's star power. The country girl. Grace plays an alcoholic's bitter wife. No glamour. No elegance. Raw. Real. She wins the Oscar for Best Actress at 25 years old. She's proven she's more than just a beautiful face. She can act. Really act. Hollywood is hers. She has everything. Then she goes to Cannes, May 1955. The Cannes Film Festival. A photo opportunity is arranged. Grace Kelly meets Prince Rainier III of Monaco. He's 31. She's 25. It's supposed to be publicity. A handshake. A few pictures. But something happens. They talk for an hour. Then letters start. Secret correspondence. He's lonely. Running a tiny country, struggling financially. She's suffocated by Hollywood. Tired of being the ice princess. Tired of being perfect. Christmas 1955. Rainier comes to America. Visits Grace's family in Philadelphia. Brings a 12-carat emerald-cut diamond ring. They announce the engagement January 5, 1956. The press goes insane. A Hollywood star marrying a real prince. It's every little girl's fantasy. But here's what nobody talks about. Grace had to pay a dowry. $2 million. Monaco needed the money. The fairy tale had a price tag. April 19, 1956. The wedding. Look at these photos. The dress. The ceremony. 30 million people watching on live television. More viewers than the coronation of Queen Elizabeth. Grace Kelly becomes Her Serene Highness Princess Grace of Monaco. She's 26 years old. At the peak of her career. And she walks away from all of it. Every contract. Every offer. Every role. Gone. Forever. The palace makes her sign papers. She can never act again. Ever. It's in the marriage contract. Monaco can't have their princess playing someone else's wife on screen. So Grace becomes a full-time royal. State dinners. Ribbon cuttings. Charity work. 3 children. Princess Caroline. Prince Albert. Princess Stephanie. She seems happy in the photos. That perfect smile. That perfect posture. But look closer at pictures from the 1960s and 70s. See the sadness around her eyes? Grace tried to return to acting multiple times. Hitchcock wanted her for Marnie in 1964. She said yes. Started preparing. Then Monaco erupted. The people rebelled. Their princess belonging to Hollywood again? Unacceptable. Rainier said no. She withdrew from the film. It broke something inside her. She threw herself into charity work instead. The Princess Grace Foundation. Supporting young artists. The very thing she could no longer be. She raised her children. Attended endless royal functions. Played the part she'd been hired for. Because that's what it was. A role. The longest role of her career. And she couldn't escape it. By the 1980s, things were changing. Her children were older. Caroline married. Albert away. Stephanie was 17 and rebellious. Grace was 52. Still beautiful but fading. The world had moved on. Monaco had stabilized financially. She wasn't needed the same way anymore. Some say she was depressed. Others say she'd finally accepted her life. We'll never know. September 13, 1982. Monday morning. Grace and Stephanie are at the family's country home in Rock Angel. They need to get back to Monaco. Stephanie has an appointment. The chauffeur is off. Grace decides to drive. A 1972 Rover P6. The same winding mountain road she'd driven hundreds of times. They're descending toward Monaco. Hairpin turns. Steep cliffs. Grace is talking to Stephanie. Then suddenly, she stops mid-sentence. Her hands go to her head. Stephanie sees her mother's face change. Something's wrong. Very wrong. Grace has suffered a stroke. A cerebral hemorrhage. Right there. Behind the wheel, the car starts drifting. Stephanie screams. Grabs for the wheel. But it's too late. The car misses a sharp turn. Goes straight through the barrier. Tumbles down the mountainside. 100 feet. The car crashes. Metal crushing. Glass shattering. Silence. Stephanie is injured but conscious. Fractured vertebra. Grace is unconscious. Bleeding. The stroke destroyed part of her brain. The crash destroyed her body. They rush her to Princess Grace Hospital. The irony isn't lost on anyone. She's taken to the hospital that bears her name. The doctors try everything. But the damage is too severe. The stroke. The trauma. There's no coming back. September 14, 1982. The life support is turned off. Princess Grace of Monaco dies at 52 years old. 26 years after giving up everything to become a princess. Here's what destroys you about Grace Kelly's story. That stroke could have happened anywhere. Anytime. But it happened in the car. On that road. With her daughter beside her. Some people whispered. Conspiracy theories. Was she trying to escape? Was the marriage unhappy? Was Stephanie driving and they covered it up? None of it was true. Just a stroke. Just tragedy. Just fate being cruel. Look at photos from her funeral. Rainier is shattered. Caroline sobbing. Albert stoic. Stephanie traumatized. She'd been in the car. Watched her mother die. Survived while Grace didn't. That guilt would haunt her for years. Hollywood sent flowers. The world mourned. The fairy tale princess gone. But here's what these photos really show. Grace Kelly gave up everything for a crown. Her career. Her identity. Her dreams. She played the perfect princess for 26 years. Smiled through the sadness. Performed through the disappointment. And in the end, she died doing something ordinary. Driving her daughter down a mountain road. No cameras. No glamour. No fairy tale ending. Look at both photos one final time. The bride in 1956. Eyes full of hope and fear. The woman in 1982. About to get in that car for the last time. Same person. Different prisons. She proved you can have the fairy tale and lose yourself. She proved that crowns are heavy. She proved that sometimes the role you accept becomes the trap you can't escape. Grace Kelly traded Hollywood for a palace. And spent 26 years wondering if she'd made the right choice. We'll never know her answer. The stroke took that secret with her. That's the untold story.